Hello everyone and welcome into Speaking of Diamonds. My name is Rich and I'm here today with a whip and chat. And if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. I just thought I would come today, have a little whip and chat where we talk about a very special milestone. Before I get started with that, let me explain that what a whip and chat is. So WHIP stands for work in progress, and we're just going to chat for a little bit as we both work on whatever our work in progress is, whether it's, in my case here, a diamond painting, or if you're cross stitching, or if you're coloring, whatever the case may be, or even if you're cleaning house or running errands and you're listening in sort of more like a podcast. Welcome on in and let's settle in and get some work done. So before I go any further, I do want to tell you a little bit about what I'm working on and working with. So I am working on, it is called the Rebellion, I believe. And this is the image. It's a Star Wars image from DAC. And if this looks familiar, I did start this on my cruise, and I was working on it when I did the whip and chat on the cruise, if you saw that. And I've been working on some other things since I've gotten back, but I've started, this is probably a row just below halfway. And I'm just sort of getting started back on this after focusing on some other images. I am on a real bender, if you will, to get all of my whips done. Not necessarily to get them done by the end of the year, but just to get them done before kitting up a lot of new stuff. So I did kit up one new diamond painting just because it was a new release and something I wanted to start on because the image just gave me instant peace when I saw it, and I don't know exactly why, but it did, and I wanted to work on it, so I started that one. But brought this one out. So this is the Rebellion. It is a 55.8 by 83.6 centimeter square. There's 38 colors. There is a lot of color blocking. Obviously, as you can see here in the picture, the entire background is 310, and that comes into the image a little bit, and then there's a lot of color blocking, obviously Leia's dress, and then the ground here, and then even in Darth Vader. Now I am enhancing this one slightly, and the first thing, the base thing I'm doing is, for the 310, I have mixed the 310 square drills that came with this with some Sparklers for Square Twisted Mocha Onyx, which is a really cool black sparkler, if you will. The Tima these came out just a couple weeks ago, and I mix a little bit of these into the squares, and then for the most part, let them land where they where they lie a little bit, coming out of the jar. Now, I do try and keep a little bit of a balance, and between, because I don't want, too many sparklers and stuff like that. So what I did was maybe about, for this entire container, I did about a cap and a half of this Art Dot bottle, and then I shook it up, and I've been, typically, periodically, what I do is I will sort of reset how everything is laying in the tray, and redistribute everything. And then even if necessary, like here, it seems that there's a lot of sparklers. The sparkler to square ratio is pretty high. I will empty this back into the container and sort of shake it up again. And depending on, I've shaken this up a couple times now, and it does seem to be a little sparkler heavy. So I'm just going to take some of my extra 310 here and pour that in. Just, not to fill it up or anything, but just to reset the balance a little bit. And then I'm going to shake this up, and then I will start painting again once I pick up the drills that spilled out here. So, and as far as what I'm working with, I have my tray from Firefly. This is the Inferno Nano, my preference. I'm using Elizabeth Ward containers, which normally I use tray bricks, but since I was traveling with this, I did kit this up into Elizabeth Ward's for ease. The pen, I don't remember where I got this pen from, but it is really cool with the black and colorful glitter, and then this colorful center. Sort of has a little bit of all the colors in this painting, so I thought it went really well. And let's see, I'm using Simply Gilded washi tape, Donna Bass straight tweezers, and then this one is from Susie's Creations on Etsy, the putty remover with the hooked end, which I really like. Tray is by Puggy Pie Pours, which is no longer a company that's no longer in business, unfortunately. But that's where I got that tray from. And then my release papers are from Crafts with Crashly. And I think that's it. I'm using a glue dot, DAC multi-placer, single placer, glue dot in here, and then putty. This is, I believe it's the Intergalactic putty from Grayson's Creations, I believe it is, on Etsy. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, that looks good. Although sparklers aren't very spread out, so I'm gonna just do that once again. And like I said, I pretty much do this as they come onto the pen, but I do make a little concession. So like if I see like this last row, couple rows, it's sort of heavy down here. So I may make sure that when I start down at the bottom here, that I'm just picking up regular drills. But other than that, it is random placement, and it sort of just makes the background interesting to look at, but it also makes it interesting to work on too, because you see sort of different drills going down and sort of how they appear on the canvas. So some other enhancements I'm going to do, I'll probably take all the white on here. I was going to replace with, it came with 3865 Fairy Dust, which is sort of like a warmer white, and I may want to replace that with a 5200 and maybe even a glow. So all of this is going to glow, all of the white. And then I am working on trying to figure out what crystals to put in Vader's eyes, because I think that would look, or not, yes, crystals, that I think that would look really cool. The painting did come with some metallics here that we put in a very surprised C-3PO. I've talked about the weird face. I haven't recharted that yet. I need to do that. Maybe I'll look at that when I'm done with this section. And it also came with some quad cubes here. So periodically it has these sort of white AB quad cubes. Yeah, I thought just replacing the background with some of these sparklers would just bring some interest and difference to the painting. And it does sort of, as you go down the painting, the sparklers get less and less, because it's sort of how I'm seeing it is it's like the ground and then you're looking up into the sky. So then the skies have the sparklers for the most part. But so that's what I'm working on. So hope everyone's doing well. Today, I would like to talk about a special milestone, and yeah, just talk about it and do some reflection. So the Speaking with Diamonds, the channel, turned 1 year old at the end of November. The first video I posted on the channel, I believe, was from November 30th of 2024. And here we are at the beginning of December. And like I said, I thought it would be fun just to sort of talk about like what the year's been like, some lessons learned, some observations, what have you, whatever the case may be. And I thought it would just be fun to visit that. So let's start off with, this is a new glue dot. And I don't know about you, but I do everything to these glue dots to make them not sticky. And it takes a long time for them to not be so sticky. But anyway, so I thought I would start with some interesting statistics of the channel. So I always, find it sort of interesting and telling of how things are going by looking at the numbers. So as I said, channel is just a couple days older than 1 year. And in that year, the channel has had 26.6 thousand views. So that's sort of interesting. Obviously, bigger creators maybe get that in a month, but I thought that's pretty good for a year. 27,000 views, rounding a little bit there. That equates to 7.6 thousand watch hours. So y'all have sat through and watched me or listened to me while you're diamond painting or whatever for almost 8,000 hours for the year. And that is incredible. It's incredible. It really is. It's a lot of hours. If you think about it, what is it? If you work full time, you work like 3,000 some odd hours a year. So that's like 2 full-time jobs almost of listening. So thank you for tuning in and listening. In the first year, I have 1.3 thousand subs. So 1,300 subs, 1,300 subs, 1.3K. Numbers are hard, right? I've posted 98 videos, which included 74 live streams and 2 shorts. And I think the shorts came from when I first started out and I had like the theme song as a video. I believe that's a short. And then either the How to Work with ABs silent film that I did, I think that shows up as a short, and I think those are the only 2. I don't know exactly. Well, shorts are based on time. There's nowhere that I indicate that I've seen when I upload something to say this is a short versus this is a video. So I think it just does it based on time, which is it's cool. Let's see. How have people found, speaking of diamonds? So mostly people find it by just browsing YouTube. And I thought that's sort of cool because that means that in some way, shape, or form, this channel is hitting the algorithms of people, or coming in as part of the, just scrolling through, finding something to watch or whatnot, or things to watch on your home page. So I thought that was sort of cool. And then the rest of it obviously comes directly through YouTube. And as far as how people tune in, it was a very interesting sort of 33, 33-ish. So a third of each of people watching only the videos, then a third of the people only watch the lives, and then the other third watch both. I thought that was some interesting statistics. There's a lot more on the analytics page, but I thought I would just pull some of the more interesting ones that talk about how you all have made, speaking of diamonds, the channel that it is. And so thank you again for doing that. So I thought I would go over just more observations of this is what the first year, what I've thought, how I think that it's been going, lessons learned, whatnot. So, and I took notes this time. So let me get my notebook. I have it. I've been making notes of what I've been replacing here, and I put something else on top of it. So let's see. So what were my expectations of starting a channel? Well, I think in one of the very first videos was an introductory video. I said that I would be interested in helping people learn how to diamond paint, or help people learn how to diamond paint more efficiently. Just anything that was diamond painting related, I wanted to focus on it, and very much help people learn how to diamond paint, or some specifics. Like even when I participated, or I did the videos and stuff for Mermaids and Magic last year, brought some fun, interesting stories about mermaids and magic and stuff like that. And hopefully everybody, I've learned stuff from that. I just love to learn. I like to learn from every thing that I do. And that's sort of what I wanted to do with the channel. I also wanted to help small businesses and get the word out about diamond painting in general, but then also within diamond painting, the places in diamond painting, the community, the small shops in which you could help things to further enhance your diamond painting experience. Let's see. And then, of course, I wanted some type of creative outlet. I will say, well, before I get into summary, I wanted a creative outlet, and I didn't know exactly what that was going to be like. But I think I know what it has morphed into. But I don't know that I knew that day one, like this is exactly the type of creative endeavor this is going to be, because I mean, until you do it, you don't know exactly what's all involved in it, really. So let me reflect on the year. So I think it's been overall a pretty fun year. I've really enjoyed learning how to edit videos, learning how to try and film videos without, reflections and stuff like that, how to get sound in videos to be clear and consistent volume, stuff like that. So the whole video production thing is sort of been, it's been a fun learning curve that I've definitely turned to YouTube for creators that put out how to produce video stuff, the technical pieces of videography, I guess. So that's been fun. I have struggled a little bit with the helping new diamond painters, or even helping people learn how to, to diamond paint more efficiently, stuff like that. I've struggled with that a little bit. And the reason, I guess one of the things that I guess I did not realize was, sorry, this, some of these, anyone else have DAC canvases that the glue is like a little slippery? I know someone reached out to me the other day and asked about it, and I think I heard somewhere that it's a sign that the glue has not cured enough, and the way to sort of help it cure is to uncover it and let the air get to it. So I'm probably not doing the greatest justice here by putting release papers on it, but I can't be sitting here, with my hand in the glue. That certainly won't help it stay sticky, right? But I digress. So I guess what's been interesting is just how people interact, or how people like learn, or yeah, I guess learn. Now I have, my background is in learning and development. So I understand learning styles and whatnot. But one of the things that I struggle with a lot is, I maybe in like the Facebook group, like the DAC VIP Facebook group or something, and someone will be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't. These ABs won't come off my glue, or the putty, or the wax, or whatever. Does anyone have any suggestions?" And it's like, I used to type in, well, if you use, something, dab your wax or your putty on a moist paper towel or something before picking them up, and it works really great, and da 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 da. Well, since I made a video regarding that, I was of the thought that, well, I could maybe just direct them to that video and help them out. And also maybe they would then go, oh, wait a minute, there's other tips and tricks and whatnot here. Let me watch the rest of them and have it serve as the resource that I wanted it to be. And I guess what I found was I didn't realize how frowned upon, maybe, like promoting channels and stuff like that in different groups was. Because especially if I could get it if it was you're posting junk, but posting a help, like a link to a help video or something like that, I thought that would be almost encouraged, really. But that's not the case, and that's fine. Lessons learned. I definitely got my hand slapped a couple times from companies. And what the interesting thing is one of the so I don't know if I want to point out companies or not, but one of the larger companies, I posted, I think it was like an unboxing. I did an unboxing or a review of a painting, and I thought, oh, this is a good review. They're definitely going to want people to see this. Yes, I have it on my channel, but why not post a link to the video in the group? And when I did that, it got denied. And I went in and read the feedback, and I didn't quite understand what they were referring to, because it sounded like you can post a video, but just don't post a video that promotes your channel. And the video I had posted was a typical video. It was hi, welcome to Speaking with Diamonds. My name is Rich. Here's the logo, the opening sequence of the diamonds coming together and stuff like that. It wasn't like I was, you know, flagging people over to my site and being like, leave this other site and don't ever go back there. I was doing something completely different, completely supportive. And, I thought that would be allowed. But so I reached out to them. I says, I need to understand your feedback a little bit closer. So you're saying I could post the video, but I can't say where the video came from. And they're like, yes. I thought that's weird. Like, again, there's a difference between self-promotion and like spamming a chat with, come see my video, come see my video, come see my video, versus, hey, here's a review or here's a tip to a challenge that's being talked about in the group right now. And oh, by the way, here's a logo. So that maybe if you wanted to use the channel as a resource, you could actually find the channel, go to know where the information came from, and see if there was more information. So I thought that was sort of interesting. And then what I noticed is a lot of folks that were tuning in are seasoned diamond painters. And, when it comes to, well, it comes to anything, but really with diamond painting in particular, once you have your way of doing it, you don't want to change. If you section with washi tape, you don't want to change. If you use Elizabeth Ward's, you typically don't want to change. And if you do, it's got to be sort of predicated by your desire to change something. So maybe, oh, I'm so tired of trying to open these Elizabeth Ward containers. And I want to find something different, and then you go on the hunt for some other type of storage system. Or, oh, I'm getting tired of, or like maybe like when DAC stopped including cover minders, you're like, well, now I don't have a cover minder, and I don't want to, section by washi tape anymore, because if I fold the washi tape back, I have nothing to hold it back. So now I need to find a different way to diamond paint. So a lot of the point being, I guess, is that I didn't find that a lot of people were seeking out the channel to be a resource, which is fine. But that wasn't what I had expected, and I thought that was really what was going to set the channel apart from others, was to have this almost like like a Mr. Rogers, a PBS educational vibe to it, right? But yet still have some fun. And I just didn't see that come through. And it wasn't just this, but then I realized how I guess frequently, or how blatant it is when people copy your ideas. And then what you're doing, what's setting your channel apart, is no longer unique. And that is very disappointing, especially when you know the other creator, and you've talked with the other creator, and the other creator's like, wow, I can never do what you do. That's just not what I'm not about that. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, they're doing what you do. Probably not as good as how you're doing it, but I mean, whatever. They're doing what you do. And it's just sort of like, okay, that was interesting. And, it's certainly not like I have copywritten the way that my channel, the goals of my channel or anything like that. And I know things are, typically that's how things go. Like, that's how viral videos happen, is that one person does a video, it gets seen a lot, and then all of a sudden everyone else is doing the same video. So I get it that's sort of how the internet works. But I guess to have it happen in a smaller community of people where everybody knows one another, or at least knows of one another, and for it to happen was a little disappointing. So I thought that was interesting. Let's see. I realized that despite like it talking about how these statistics talking about how people find the channel and stuff, I find that the folks that tune in are a small but mighty group of loyal viewers, and that's great. But again, with not being able to spread the word too much out there, it's hard to necessarily get new viewers. Now, what I will say is what had certainly helped was working on event like Mermaids and Magic. That really, my channel sort of, my viewership, my numbers of viewers sort of, it really increased because people wanted to tune in to get the keyword for the giveaway and, yada, yada, yada. So that's great. And I'm looking forward to doing more events in 2026, and hopefully that will also bring people to my channel, and let people have a resource if they need it, or a place that they can ask, for topics to be discussed. Everybody sometimes has that one thing that you're just like, I don't understand how this happens. And maybe you want to see a video on it. I don't know. So found that. So a little bit more about my experience, and it sort of centers on community. A lot of people come to diamond painting because of the peace that it offers, because of the community, because of the ability to allow you to do something to create a beautiful image while you're sort of just checking out, right? You're not thinking about much. You're just doing the diamond painting, and you're putting drills down, and you get the ASMR, the snap of the drills, and all that good stuff. So a lot of people come to diamond painting for the peace. And what I discovered is that it's not a very peaceful community. I mean that in two ways. First way being very good, that it's a raucous, crazy, laugh-a-minute community, of some of the folks that I've met online, even met in person at retreats and stuff like that. It's a great place to be. I feel very often, that I have found a group of people that we have something in common, diamond painting, but then we're able to typically find more stuff that we have in common, and it's just a fun group of people, right? And that's great. And I hope that I hope that continues to be. This putty is, I think it's a little bit too much has come out of the pen here. I'm starting to lose the stickiness here. And I think, that's what 95% of the community is like, right? But then you have this other side of the community that is deceitful, vindictive, fake, any word that, if you looked up in a thesaurus, another word for drama is, any of those words, insert here. So let me give some not specific examples, if that makes any sense. But, starting out as a new channel, it helps, especially if you know other established creators. It certainly helps if they assist you in getting off the ground. And I'm not talking like even technically or anything. I'm talking just by like having you on their channel to talk about your channel, whatever, word of mouth type thing. And, I found that there are some people that just they don't stand behind their word. They're like, oh my gosh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And then it's like crickets. Or, oh, I have to do something different and we're going to reschedule, and then it never reschedules. And I don't know. I have a hard time believing that those type of things are, oh, I totally forgot to get back to you. No, we were talking about, we were planning something, we were going through this. You had to have thought about it again. It had to have come to your mind. And you chose to be like, never mind, so that was a little disappointing. And, but that's sort of, okay, I'm an adult. I can read the room. Got it. Noted. And move on. Right. But then you're called upon to sort of advertise for them. And it's like, or participate in stuff for them. And it's just like, okay, this is interesting. But anyway, so the dynamics, the people in the community, there's good and bad, and that's everywhere. There's good and bad. And I have identified, like I said, 98% of the community, positive folks that love a craft, that appreciate having someone keep them company while they're diamond painting, stuff like that. And then there's that other 2 to 5% that is just like they're out for themselves and out to, they're out for themselves. That's really all there is. Now that I'm in this new section, I have 2 quad cubes here that I'm going to go ahead and place first, just because I think, I don't know why I would do that. They could go on last. It's not like they're going to get crowded out, but it's sort of fun to put these in. I like that Diamond Art Club has started to include some of these special drills, but of course, I also like bringing my own special drills to the party because that is fun. Let's see, what else? So promoting small businesses. When I first started diamond painting, there wasn't much of a community that was established. The community, diamond painting community, I don't think, and I think a lot of online communities didn't really develop as much until COVID. And I started diamond painting before that, so it was me and one creator that I found. I couldn't find any other creators, and it was companies out of China, and that was all that you had. And then when I discover sort of the new and improved, enhanced community, it's like, oh my gosh, there's stuff out here for us that, companies that are finding different types of artists and using licensed art, and which I didn't know about when I first started, or look at the creativity of the places that make 3D printed items or resin items or turn a pen, whatever the case may be. So I've always been pro small shop. Plus, I just like the fact that typically with a small shop, you can, within reason, get things done completely to your liking. So, hey, well, like example, I typically like thicker pens, and most of the blanks that are out there, when they get turned, they become a little too thin for me. And when I say too thin, it doesn't mean I'm not going to use them, but it's just not going to be my, at the end of the day, I'm holding this pen and it's super comfortable to use. It's not going to be that pen for me. So, you know, I've talked to pen turners and I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? Because, you know, it doesn't seem these blanks are big enough. And then I find out you can make bigger blanks, and, or you can turn things a different way, and what have you. So, and they're like, I can do that for you, you know, or here's what you need to get me and I can do that for you. And that's cool, you know. Whereas larger companies, because they're operating at, you know, sort of the scale at which they're operating, they can't do that. You know, it has to be, nope, this is what everything is because this is what our machines do. And we can't change that because it would slow down production. So I've always been a fan of small businesses in the diamond painting community and just in life. What I have learned is, how did I write this down? Working with small businesses is a gamble. And this is mostly from a creator's vision, I guess. Not everybody. Okay, so as with, you know, the 95% of the community is good and 5% is bad, there are good people and bad people, and there are some bad people that have small businesses, and that's fine. I 100% believe in the power of spending, and where I'm going to spend my money is where I feel that I am valued as a customer. And I'm just not going to shop at the places that I don't think have good people, I guess. But I guess I never realized the extent that some businesses will go to, how do I say, promote themselves at your expense. You know, being a creator, it's your face, it's your name, it's your voice, whatever, in the videos, right? And when things go wrong, you're the one that typically people are going to see as explaining why it went wrong, or explaining how things are going to be fixed, or whatever the case may be. You're the sort of the face of now the problem. And for the most part, I think most small businesses and even other creators, the goal is to not have that problem. So you don't want to get there. And if you do get there, it's like all hands on deck until it's fixed. But what I learned is that there's some people that just sort of go, oh well, and then they walk away. And they leave you hanging. And it's your reputation that takes the hit. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that is very unfortunate. I have so wanted to, on some days, I've wanted to fire up the camera and just start spilling the tea on shops or creators or whatever, companies, just spill the tea and talk about why I don't feel that this person or this business is a good business. And but I don't want to do that. I don't, now obviously if it was something illegal and something that is super harmful, can harm people, harm. But what I mean by that is, like, it's definitely screwed with my mental health, but it's not like it's not harmful to me. Like, it's not going to directly hurt me. It may give me something to think about for a couple weeks, but anyway, I'm not going to do that. As much as I would like to, I'm just not going to do that. So sort of the stance that I've taken is, if people don't see it on my channel, they should know that I don't support it. And I don't know if that's worked. I certainly don't, again, I don't reach out to people and be like, so did you notice I don't talk about Company X? Do you use Company X? Why do you use Company X? They're not a very good company. I'm not going to do that. But and I know a lot of people, again, are turning to YouTube videos for tips, tricks, unboxings, or just company while you're diamond painting. So who wants to sit there and just rag about stuff for an hour? And then you have two people that are upset about something, and that's not cool. But definitely have seen the dark side of the community from a small, well, I wouldn't say small shop, just a vendor, a shop perspective, as opposed to just a member of the community. Let's see. There's been a fair amount of stress. It's stressful. Well, that's certainly stressful when you're suddenly stuck in the middle of something and you're trying to sort of protect your image, and whatnot. That's certainly stressful. But just even trying to meet like a video, I'm going to say quota, whether it's numbers or let's even say the frequency of videos, that's stressful. There are days that I don't feel like making a video, and but yet, they tell you, oh, the YouTube algorithm is going to, do something and drop you and all this other stuff. And it's just like, you don't want that to happen either. But at the same time, I am first and foremost, I am a diamond painter. I am a diamond painter who happens to have a YouTube channel. So if I have a hard day, if I have a difficult day at work, I'm going to sit down and diamond paint, because that's what brings me peace. Doesn't and what's not going to happen is something for the channel, right? And I fully 100% believe that's how it should be, but I also know that sometimes is detrimental to your channel, and I guess so be it, but at the same time, it sits in the back of your head and it sort of eats away at you, gives you some stress. I think I've done okay, sort of bringing out some of the creativity that I was looking to dole out somewhere, right? Whether it was coming up with the theme song or coming up with, what was it, Diamond Painter's Dance or something like that. Like I wrote the poem and stuff and then had it set to music and whatnot. Or even coming up with enhancements in ideas, and making those happen and talking about them on videos and stuff like that. So I think I've done a good job at the creative part of things. But I don't know how much benefit the channel has received from that creativity, because I don't know that, again, you're looking for people who are watching YouTube videos while they diamond paint are looking for company when they diamond paint, or they're looking for tips, tricks, what have you. They're not necessarily looking for, I need to engage with something because I had a long day. And this is me too. This is me as a YouTube viewer. So I'm not like pointing fingers here or anything, but it's like, you know what? I just need to listen to a voice right now. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe the creativity has been a little lost, or a bit of a hindrance. I don't know. But I have enjoyed what I've done. And, I talked earlier about when people sort of use your ideas, that's frustrating. But at the same time, what's the saying? Imitation is the best form of flattery. And it's like, well, no one did that before I did it, as far as I can tell. And now everybody wants to do it. That's sort of cool. So, I don't know. There's something to that. There's something there somewhere. It's also a bit of a challenge, I think, being a creator who is not a full-time creator. There are channels that started around the same time as I did, or shortly thereafter, that have just, the numbers have exploded, and thousands of viewers and whatnot. And that's fantastic. I'm happy for those people. But the one thing I tend to see is those people are, I'm going to say full-time creators, but when I say full-time creators, they don't seem to have a 9 to 5. They may have a family. They may have, which is as stressful and as involved as a job. But what I'm saying is they're not having to use their talents, their brain, their power, their energy for someone else's company. Whereas, yes, you had a hard day and changing diapers and cleaning the house and stuff like that. But that entire time you could be thinking of, okay, how do I want to do this? And what type of event do I want to hold? And what type of this do I want to hold? And sometimes it's a little to me, it's difficult when I'm trying to figure out how the heck am I going to get my team out of this hot water at work, or stay out of the hot water, or whatever the case may be. And I think it's great that there are some people out there that can be full-time creators. And I get it that they're putting more time into it, so they should have more viewers, more videos out there, more content, because that's sort of their job, right? So that's a little frustrating, because it's like I want to do all the things, and it's like I have had a million ideas of this is what I want to do for a video. This is what I want to do for an event. This is what I want to do over here. And it's just like work scrambles my brain so much that it's just like, you know what? I can't do any planning tonight. I need to just sit and relax and diamond paint. So it's sort of interesting. I guess it's a limitation that I have, but it's not anyone's thing, right? It's just, and there are other creators out there that have 9 to 5s and stuff like that. But I don't know where they get the energy and the time to do everything. And I don't even have a family. That's the thing, but it just, to me, it just takes a lot. And, I'm not always able to commit, 100% to things. So what are we going to do going forward? Well, speaking of diamonds is definitely going to stick around, because primarily because there's a bunch of events that I want to do next year to host or co-host. So we got the romance art coming up in February. We have Mermaids and Magic in March and April. Then May the 4th be with you for Star Wars, and then Peggy Collins, and then we get into like Og and Oz, and there's something else. Oh, the 5K, the DP 5K, Diamond Painting 5K. That I'm excited about that one, because that, I don't know, that one sort of speaks to me. I mean, I like the artist ones and stuff like that, but to come together as a group and collectively work through our own large diamond paintings, I think is oddly fun, I guess. So speaking of diamonds, we'll be around. However, I am going to make some changes. So I did, when I was eligible, I researched the concept of memberships, and I did turn on memberships. And, I would do member only videos, but it was like funny stuff, the really creative stuff. And quite honestly, the creative stuff that cost some money, that I had to buy like a prop or a book or whatever the case may be. So I thought it was a good little offset. That's just not sustainable for me at this time. I feel bad for having members, and like I'm not great at supplying the benefits that they should be receiving. So I'm going to shut off memberships within a couple days of this posting. I'm going to shut down memberships. Thank you to those of you who have been a member. I hope that you feel that you've gotten something out of it. But chances are you're thinking, yeah, you're right. I haven't seen a lot of, a lot of stuff coming out for members only. And to that, I say thank you. I apologize. But I'm going to be turning that off. So there's that. I'm also, I don't know. I think with the events, there's going to be just inherently like whip-in chats and stuff built into some of that. But I think I may try and move away from pre-recorded whip-in chats. And like there's still probably going to be some. But I think I may move more towards just doing pop-up lives, because then it's like, it sort of serves two benefits. For the people who just want to listen to a voice while they're diamond painting, they could always watch the replay. To the people who are there and want to maybe chat with someone directly, or ask a question directly, what have you, it also serves that purpose. So I think I may move to more of just a pop-up live. I don't know that there will be a specific schedule, or if it'll just be, at any time of the day or night, and see how that goes. But yeah, I see the channel like really being used for the 2026 events. And I don't know if going forward, what the future of Speaking with Diamonds is going to be. It's like I said, I'm a diamond painter first, and I sort of want to be the diamond painter who is oblivious to the drama and the crap that goes on in the community. And I want to go back to maybe looking at the community through rose-colored glasses and not realizing that the good guy does not always come in first. It just doesn't work that way. There are not good things happening out there, and they're getting all the attention, or they're getting all of the benefits, or the what have you. So yeah, so definitely, I don't know what will happen from there, but we'll see. As always, if you guys have a thought on what you'd like to see, drop me a line. I know one of the things that I'm excited to work on, but again, I really, it's like a bad time of year, with work, to be like, oh, let me take on like this extracurricular activity. But I want to work a bit more on, like the enhancement videos that I was doing with Cheryl. I want to maybe have more of those. Maybe have a I'm gonna say an event, but it's not like an event for thousands of people. It's like a very small group of people that go through and work on the same thing and enhance the same image. Sort of like almost like think of, back in science class when you had lab. I want to have the lab and sit with people and go through and, okay, here's the image. How do we want to enhance this? Okay, this is what we want to do. What does that do to the do all of the stuff that Cheryl talks about, but do that together with a group of people to help people become more proficient in enhancing their diamond paintings. And I've talked about a workbook, and I have plenty of ideas. I've started a draft. There's someone has been, the name escapes me right now. I'd have to go look at my email. Has been sending like, here's some stuff you could use. Here's some stuff you can use. And I thought, this is amazing. This is so helpful. And it also shows me that it's wanted. So whoever you are, I apologize, I forgot your name, but thank you. And I will definitely give you better credit than I'm giving you right now, because I will have your name and I'll put it in the workbook for sure. But I want to do that for, because I do enjoy enhancing. I think that the world of, special drills is cool. It's neat to see the stuff that's out there and what you can do to make things look different, or make things look, to your eye at least, better. So, but like I said, beyond 2026, I don't know. We'll have to see. We will have to see. I guess one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is I didn't realize how much having a channel, how much of an impact it would have on the amount of diamond painting that you do. You would think that you would do more because you're, showing completions and stuff like that. But it's like, that's not the case. is not the case. My diamond painting has slowed way down as far as how many I do in a week, month, year, what have you. So, that's a little disappointing because, like I said, I'm a diamond painter first. So I may just try to work on that balance a little bit more in 2026. So, but anyway, so thank you for letting me ramble on a little bit and share with you the milestone that is the 1 year anniversary of Speaking of Diamonds. I hope that you have found something to enjoy within this first year. And I look forward to spending time with you, whether virtually or in virtually, like recorded virtually, or virtually live, but in person. Like, I didn't want to say in person, like, hi, I'm going to be coming to your home, but, spending more time with you and furthering the 95% of the community and making sure that we are all focusing on why we came to this craft to begin with. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up. So, yeah, I hope everybody is staying warm, staying dry, staying cool, wherever you're at, whatever the case may be. I hope everything's going well with you. I am planning a premiere for I think Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. The premieres that go out from various creators. I'm planning on doing one. I keep changing my mind of what I want to do, but I am planning on doing one, so I'll definitely see you there. And I may see you live on a Sunday or in additional whip and chats, or like I said, maybe even a pop-up live. Who knows? But thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time we are Speaking of Diamonds. Bye-bye.